Well, everything's moving along pretty good. We've not heard back from Steve yet on that last remount, so we're just still kind of limbo on that. So the thing we was wanting to talk to everybody about, our billing company that we use, Digitech. We've been with them for, I believe it'll be 5 years in April or May. So we're rebidding that. We ran into a few little snags, and then there was a few things on my end, and it got us behind. Our hopes and plans was to put everything out for bid and have those bids ready to bring to the meeting tonight. But on account of the timeline and the wording on it, we had to run it for an extra week. So the bids will not be in till Thursday. The company that we're currently with, there's no major issues with them. They are rebidding it. There's a couple of other companies that have reached out to us about it, and whether they turn a bid in or not, I don't know. But our initial plan was to present that at the full court meeting on the 16th for the full commission to approve, that bid. It'd be a 3-year bid with the option to renew for 3 additional years if we wanted to. So I was going to kind of see how y'all wanted to do that. Do you want me to tell Justin to wait till April? Or y'all can look at it?
30 minutes before or a monthly meeting.
If we could, or if we need to, depends on what information you get. It may want us to have we call a special meeting. But,
Completely y'all's choice.
let's just wait. When you say you're gonna get all this in?
Thursday at 2:00 is the bid open.
Let's see what you got after Thursday. We'll get together, we'll make a decision there.
Okay. And I don't suspect anything to be a huge change. We changed some wording on the way we pay, to move it back to a percentage instead of just a flat fee per run. And part of that is because of the hardware that we use and the software that we use. So I don't think there'll be a huge difference in price or anything that we're paying now with the current company. I don't know what the other ones will bid. And I mean, like I said, there's not a big issue for us to push to go to a new company. We're fairly happy with the group we're with. But like I said, this on account of the timeline stuff, we couldn't get it worked out before we could have it ready for tonight. But like I said, we will have that as of Thursday.
Well, like you said, we'll make adjustments if whatever we need to do, if we.
Will that give you enough time?
Yeah, we'll have everything on Thursday, and then I can reach out to y'all Friday or something and let you kind of know. What bids we have.
Harry said we'll meet right before court.
Okay.
If that's all right with the rest of the,
Yeah, sure.
Other than that, I mean, that's right. We are getting ready to start on our budget work for you.
Okay.
So we'll have that next meeting. We'll have our budget for you for that.
Tanking radios.
Mhm.
You got most of yours in?
And the ones in our trucks, yeah, we've had them. We've got the portables. We've had a few issues. Nothing major, just a couple oversights. They were the first ones. It's the same company the sheriff's department's using. I believe it's the same one that they're using on the grant. Same sales company.
They programmed them wrong.
And they programmed theirs wrong.
Fire used them as well. Seems close to a different route.
Yeah, they went with the Motorola. Which like the ones that, initially that y'all looked at, the Harris, same company. And it's an encryption key. It was an encryption key, ain't it? They had it wrong. So There was some issues with it. It'll work, but there was some issues with it. So they've got to come back and reprogram the encryption key on.
That key is actually assigned to each department in the state by the state, and if they don't match, they don't communicate right.
So they've got to redo those. But other than that, I mean, we've had pretty good luck. We are looking at doing the stations, putting the new radios in each station for dispatch to page us out over while we're in the station. They came the other day. They sent us a quote, but now they're suggesting that we go with a different radio because of some issues they've had. So they were at the sheriff's department the other day. They talked to us, and they are supposed to be coming back down here either one day this week or next week to look at each station to give us a little better quote. We've got the quote on the radios, and we have the money in our budget to do the radios. But station one, the main station there on Magnus Drive, the speakers in it were put in it in the 80s. The other day we had one go out. They don't make those speakers anymore. So we're probably going to put new speakers and stuff in the main station. The substations will be fine. They've got newer updated equipment already. So, but they are supposed to come give us a quote on doing an installation and then replacing the speakers there at station one. Other than that, I mean, we should be good to go on.
That's good.
The portables we have, they do have a paging capability, so we can actually program them so when dispatch pages us out, it'll actually page us out over the portables as well. So in the event that we had to, I mean, we have that we could use, as well.
Anybody else got a question for Preston?
Make a motion, we approve his report.
Second,
A motion and a second. Any other questions?
doing a good job, Preston.
All in favor?
Sir,
Aye.
I'll get with you Friday on that, me or Dan.
Sounds good. Y'all be safe.
Appreciate it.
Thank you, Dick. All right. Let's go with EMA.
See you, sir.
Thanks.
All right, just a quick run through of the front page of the report. Terry and I did meet with Mobile Communications America, that is the Motorola company here in town. Just to let them present their Motorola product that works on this tacking system. They have went around to some of the fire departments, both of these companies that are, the ones that we've already bought from and the local ones here, to show those guys. That way everybody knows what they're looking at when that time does come. Had a severe weather class, hosted by the National Disaster Preparedness Training Center that is in Hawaii. Those folks came in from Hawaii and came up to the convention center in Cookville and had a class up there. Took the 191 class. I've got one class left on the 12th, and that will complete all of the state and federal requirements to be an EMA director. We'll hit the 2-year window, but we'll have them done as of March the 12th.
Very good.
They came last week on the 24th. We actually hosted the hazmat awareness course. You'll see that down more towards the bottom. We had 23 folks here, 22 from Warren County, and then a gentleman from Rutherford County came in to take that as well. So we got several folks in the rescue squad, some local fire departments, had some EMA folks and some sheriff's deputies. So pretty good combination of different emergency services came and took that class. Of course, if we had the bad trucking accident or anything that has hazardous materials, it's going to be all those folks will be involved in that. So I'm glad they came to do that. That went really well. They did come on the 16th and do our annual county evaluation that TEMA comes and does based on performance year over year, things that are implemented or have been done or was supposed to be done and didn't. Got a real good score on that. They were very pleased with what we've been able to do in a year's time. Did take the storm spotter class from the National Weather Service on the 19th. This Thursday will be the advanced class, and then that will designate, I think Ron and some of us in here talk with the Weather Service wants us out looking at stuff. They can't see what's on the ground. They can only see what's in the atmosphere. To run around Warren County chasing stuff like that, not knowing, the safety procedures and what you're actually looking at to try to get out, stay out, at least get behind something and not get in the middle of it. It can be a challenge when all you see is dark clouds and they look bad, but there's different ways to read those storms to be able to stay out in front of stuff and do it safely. So that'll happen on this Thursday. The command center downstairs is 100% operational. The maps on the wall, I talked to Ben Loman. Ben Loman has the ability to make whatever maps, big maps. They got a big machine that does that. They're going to make a few for us. What's on the wall downstairs is from 1950. Now, the jurisdictional boundary of the county is all the same, but there's some roads that would exist now that are not on that map. However, if we had an incident, because we can ride on that dry race, we can make marks. We can have maps. We have GIS, a geographic imaging system that the state pays for, that we can pull up certain damage in certain parts of the county onto a screen, but to get a whole picture all at once of the county would be super small. The map on the wall is really good for that. Most of that stuff's there. It's functional now. We could use it. But we are going to get some updated maps, and Ben Loman's going to help us out with that. Saturday wrapped up Severe Weather Awareness Month, and we are now officially in the severe weather season for our region. For those who follow us on Facebook, you probably saw a lot of stuff posted over the last few weeks, severe weather related, to try to make the community a little more aware of what's going on, what we do, and what they need to be doing. In our area, about 75% of all the warnings that go out, whether it's a thunderstorm or a tornado warning, actually result in any kind of actual damage or disaster, which makes people pretty complacent. The problem is the other 25% turns into something, which is why you got these other sheets. I won't go spend a whole lot of time on it, but I thought y'all might.
Give me one of your reports.
So right past that front. You'll notice that first one, the National Weather Service done a 30-year study. You see the dates up at the top. This is the average tornadoes per year per state. You can see that Tennessee is not about middle of the road, when it comes to our region. Now, a few months ago, I gave y'all one that showed 23 and 24, where we had almost double the tornadoes in 24 confirmed as we did in 2023. You see the usual players there, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, big numbers there. But if you flip over to the next page, you will see the deaths per year from tornadoes by state. You'll notice that Tennessee is third in the nation. Now, there's a lot of reasons for that. Mainly, when you get out in the Midwest, they have a lot of their tornadoes during the daytime hours. So you can see them. You can also see them from way far away because it's so flat. And there's so much farmland out there. Many of these tornadoes that are confirmed never actually impact a home or a town or a subdivision or anything of that nature. They do get bad ones, and they get a bunch of them, but a lot of them are just out in empty farmland. That first page is, there's just, the number of tornadoes. That is just confirmed tornadoes on the ground per year. That's the average number. For example, Texas has 135 tornadoes a year. But you also see the size of that state as well. The next page shows where the months where we get the most severe or the tornado occurrences by month. You can see where March, April, and May spike up pretty high. There's always a chance of tornadoes. You see December is one of the lowest months, but the 18th, folks out in Urban College probably disagree with this chart. But this is an average of over 30. And then the last one is the times of the day that we're more likely to have a tornado in Middle Tennessee in our region. So you see most of them happen late in the evening and at night. So I just thought that might be handy for y'all, just for if they sent that stuff to me and we had to go through it. So I thought I'd just share it. And that's all I got. Unless y'all have any questions.
Move to approve. And just one question, and I'll second that. When do you say you just want to finish your classes? And that's all the classes?
The 12th will be the last one that I'm required. And I've had several classes that I've taken, search and rescue things, just have it.
Yeah.
I kind of imagine. As far as actual federal and state requirements, my last one will be the 12th of this month.
All right, thank you.
I second his motion.
I got a motion and a second. Anybody got any other questions? Jesus. If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Passes. Mr. Man, Mr. Sanitation Man.
All right. I guess we'll start on the annual progress report. We have that tonight. Normally, we are behind and we do not have that until the full county court. So I am thankful that we have it fully completed. It'll come in front of safety here tonight. Y'all will get to see it. It will go on to the full county court with a resolution that's required, state law. And then we will be able to take that to the regional board on March the 25th at 6 o'clock here at the county administration office, our region meeting here this time. And we'll get a full vote approval for the regional board, and then it's due to the state March the 31st. That is a requirement. If you don't meet that, you're in big trouble. But ours is completed. We reached out to 46 industrial businesses in Warren County this year. I know that was a lot of discussion. I know Stephen had questioned some things on that. So we really sat down this year. We spent a week on it. We owned the ICIs, the industrial side of things. We reached out to 46. We retained 15 emails from those 46, and we had 4 apply. A lot better from last year. We only had 1 apply last year, which was Bristol. So I'm thankful for that. And Helton did cooperate, and we got our 42 tons, which was great. We will go into that. Y'all tell me to slow down when we get started on this, but I will go through this. So here's Bridgestone.
Damn some lights.
There you go. So here's Bridgestone. This is the largest industrial report in Warren County. Here's our single stirring. Here's their mixed metal. Here is their cardboard. Here's their mixed plastic and paper, textiles, electronics, lead acid, dry cell, used oil, and rubber. A total of 14,620.17 tons. Huge, huge. Most places we're talking 50 to 100 tons on your small industrial. So this is huge. We get, as a region, we get to count it towards our 25% diversion. And as you know, the 2035 solid waste plan is coming into play. So the 25%, they're looking at 50%, they're looking at 30%, they're looking at 40%. So reaching out to the private sector, industrial within our county, within our region is huge, because Warren County can never divert 50% from a landfill. So we do lean on the private and the industrial reports, heavy. All right, moving on, Helton Incorporated. This is our second one that was submitted by Helton Incorporated. We've got our plastics here, and we've got 42.45 tons. So we go from 14,000 to 42. Every ton matters. A ton that we can get our hands on for this ICI report is huge for Warren County. We're going in American Thrift Stores. I was at a conference 3 years ago. I met these guys, and they're excellent to deal with. They brought boxes to Warren County. They set boxes at zero cost to the taxpayer at every convenience center. It's 100% recycled, and this material would normally go in the compactor and go to the landfill. It's 100% diverted. It don't cost a dime. We had 103.40 tons.
Wow.
Now you times that by 5372, and that's what we saved our taxpayers this year by having this company in Warren County. And as I say, everything matters. Me and Terry had talked about this year. I got with the state, and I was at a conference, and I heard about agriculture, and I throw a question out to one of the main routes with TDEC and asked them about the chicken houses in Warren County. She got back with me about 4 months ago. She said, Josh, you can count the manure because that manure was fertilizer and it did not go to a landfill. So this is the report from the UT right here, Heath Notes, 2,500 tons. We've never counted that before on our report. So that's huge. Because that was diverted.
How did he get those numbers?
I guess he probably multiplied the number of chickens. Of course, they kind of know what they eat, what the waste is, and I think that's where he come up with those numbers.
But I was thankful that Terry, you got with Heath and he took the time to
To
do
actually do that for us.
to do that for us. That's 2,500 tons. That's huge. I can't do it. I legally cannot. I can go sit with Heath, but he has to enter that and sign that. We can't make an industrial business do this. We can only ask. Here goes into our annual progress report. We're going from our ICIs into the county solid waste, the board contact information, the mayor, making sure we're required to do all this to go in every year. So we've got all that here. Everything's up to date. Solid waste director, emails. This is kind of straightforward. Okay, here is our recycling residential. Now here is what we done at our convenience centers this year. This is your convenience centers only. We recycled 38.51 tons of mixed paper. We recycled 385.61 tons of cardboard. We recycled 422.32 tons of metals. We recycled 6.8 tons of aluminum cans. We recycled 4,810 pounds of lead batteries. We recycled 3,750 gallons of used oil. We recycled 4 tons of electronics. And then our household hazardous waste day, we had 22.50 tons, totaling 893.24. And that is your yearly report from just your convenience centers only. I don't hold me to that. I think we were around 13% just convenience centers without the industrial side. Don't hold me to that number. I should have had that tonight. I apologize. Warren County operations. Here's all of our funding, budget, all that's submitted in here. The state wants to see everything we spend, our planned budget for the upcoming year, all that good stuff. Our surcharges, our grants, property taxes. 8 full-time employees, 27 part-time. All that good stuff. All right, tire report. This is your tire report from the main office only. So we done 643.13 tons of tires that we get to count. That did not go to the landfill because new state law a year ago, you can quarter a tire now and you can landfill that tire. We choose not to do that and we recycle that tire. So we can landfill tires for $53.72. We recycle tires for $110 a ton. Now, we get $1 reimbursement right from the state on every new tire sold in Warren County because we recycle. And that's huge. So that offsets our cost, of course, and we get our diversion rates from that. But we're not required to do that. That is something new. Let's see here. I think this is just per many convenience centers. So you got 12 convenience centers. We have to, this is kind of boring. Y'all know every convenience center addresses, locations, number of residents that use the site annually, items accepted. I'm not gonna bore y'all to death, hours and all that, but everything's up to date. You know, we do change. We accept furniture at Smart Station now where we used to not. So all that's got to be updated a little bit. Okay, here's the APR. That don't pertain. Here's your 10-year plan. This is huge. So they've changed a little bit on this. The state is wanting us as a region in 2026 to put together a 10-year plan through a third party. We cannot do our 10-year plans anymore. This will be the last year that we write our own 10-year plan on a county letterhead. The state wants to look at regions and see what the region in our region, it's 4 counties, Rutherford, Coffee, Cannon, Warren. They want to see what we're going to do as a region to offset the recycling the next 10 years. What are we going to do to prepare for the new solid waste plan coming? So right now you got plan capacity assurance, including descriptions of planned and needed facilities. As Warren County grows, the department is committed to the sanitation services. Additionally, they would like to further improve their solid waste facilities through grant funding as it becomes available. You always want to throw that in there. When we apply for a grant, whether it's $10,000 or $1 million, they pull this plan. They read this plan. A recycling plan, including a description of current public and private recycling efforts and planned efforts to enhance recycling within the county or region. So we're not only asking to recycle our material, we're telling them here that we will work as a region together. We'll work with Rutherford. We want to use their resources. They're a lot larger than us. We'll work with Coffee. We're not just sitting over here, hey, we know everything. We're not a team player. Warren County is in the process of building a recycling center so they can manage the recyclable materials generated in their county. And as the grant funding becomes available through the recycling program. So we're more or less asking here in the next 10 years that we want more grant funding for our building. We want new balers. We want can shredders. We want paper shredders to better our county and our recycling and the way we handle material. We go back to $10 a ton right now, hauling loose cardboard. So when we open this recycling center, we're at $110 a ton. We go back to hauling 540 pounds of liquid cans on a ton truck to hauling 10 tons on a roll-off truck. So by having this building and asking for more equipment to be more sufficient is huge. And we've got to push hard to get this done. This has got to get done. But this is our 10-year plan. When it goes through the full county court, Terry will sign this. Any questions on the annual progress report? Everything we just went through.
What did you say once you included your industrial, what did that put our recycling at?
So I don't have those numbers just yet because we get to combine Coffee, Rutherford, and Cannon. But when we sit down, we will have next month, I can tell you exactly with the ICIs and the county where we're at.
Yeah.
I can get you those numbers and have that ready for next month. Just as I can.
I do know, that there's a bunch of other companies that could really help us out in the recycling, of how much materials
Yes.
is not going through.
You want to turn that off and we'll go into let's see here. So here is your resolution. We're required by state to pass this resolution along with your annual progress report that'll go in front of the full county court. This is something they started, 4 or 5 years ago, and the state board wants to see a resolution.
Do we need a motion to?
We do. We need a vote on the full annual progress report.
And this,
So can we wrap it all up together?
Yeah,
Or do we need to individually
No, you
piece
can,
this out?
you can do your annual progress report, your 10-year plan, and your resolution.
All in one.
Yes, sir.
Are you done presenting?
I am done with that.
I'll make that motion that we approve.
got a motion. Second. We got a second. Any other questions, Josh? All in favor? Good report, Josh.
Well, that is a big one that we dread every year. It does take a long time.
I do have a question, I guess, for Josh. Obviously, I guess congratulations is in order.
Thank you.
For your road superintendent bid. But it also puts a burden back on the county as far as finding somebody to replace you, in the coming months. Has anybody, I guess, within your department, do you see?
I had a meeting with my whole department and nobody within the department.
Okay. How are we gonna fill this position, Terry, I guess?
Yes,
We about to go into that.
he's about to go in about putting out some qualifications. He's got y'all a list or.
Right here.
Our plan is to put that out, let people fill out an application.
I see it now, okay.
And Josh has talked about extensively, what we're looking about is trying to put money in the budget, to hire this person with July the 1st. Let them stay with Josh from July the 1st through July and August.
And
of course,
that's huge. 60 days. is
that'll be a
huge.
60-day period for him to learn them exactly, be on the job training. Of course, that'll be up to the commissioners, because that'll be double paid. We'll have to pay Josh, we'll have to pay the other person, but I believe it'll be well money spent
I don't have a problem with it.
I think it's a good idea.
to make
The
that.
money's within the budget is where we can move some monies around.
He's gonna move some money around to make it happen in his own budget, not increasing the burden on the taxpayers.
Well, he's not going far either, so, you know.
He's agreed to help us.
Has there been any interest within outside of?
Yes, sir. I've had, I had one come and spend about 6 hours one day. And they decided a no-go. And then I've had 2 phone calls wanting to sit down with me. But of course, I'm telling everybody, let the job description go. I see it for yourself. And then me and Terry would be willing to meet with them. You're gonna have a lot of people apply for this job. It's a good
So what's
job.
what's our process
It's a good
of hiring gonna be? I mean,
That's
It's gonna be on you, or is it gonna be?
That's gonna be a little tricky, because I've done had somebody reach out to me and they have a good job. And they do not want their employer knowing that they are filling out for this job. So to do it in a public meeting, that, I guess we'll have to get the list together. And we'll have to look at that, see how many people that is,
A
because
lot of people ain't gonna come out.
Well, I could understand why they.
Good.
because of their employers, some
Yeah.
employers, they shouldn't take it out on.
Whenever,
don't take it out.
Josh, when you were hired, Jimmy just hired you, did he not?
I
And then we had to confirm it.
I had to go public. Yeah, I mean,
But I
I went to
don't,
my employer and told them what I was doing before I ever applied. But that's just me. Yeah, I'm transparent. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I wanna think, Jimmy just hired you
Yeah.
directly.
So I
No
applied.
committee was,
No, I
Well-
applied and I sat through interviews with Jimmy and then I was taken into the full county court.
But we all know how Jimmy done things.
well, sure.
He didn't consult with anybody. And at this particular time, he made a hell of a decision there.
Yeah.
He done a good thing. But,
I believe when we advertise this, we may get more response than you
I
think.
think so.
Yeah, I think it needs to be advertised.
Yeah, I think that's the appropriate way to handle it.
But we
Put it out
need-
there, and then we'll see how many.
Do you need a motion to advertise this position?
We got a job description that y'all need to vote on before we do that.
Okay.
To put that out as a job description.
Give me a minute to
If y'all would
process.
like to read all that, and if you want to make any changes, of course.
Have you got on here, I mean, I'm trying to read through here, like,
We can read through that if you want me to. I don't care.
no, it's not, I'm just, you have good experience with equipment. It's a person would get, I hope they would be that way. Is that in here and I'm just overlooking it?
I go to your specs. And
Back page, Andy, there's a quick-
throw something in there.
he did on the last page.
I think I throwed in, here you go, computers, office equipment, copier, shredder, telephone, compactors, skid steer, excavator, roll-off truck, front loader. Everything they'll touch. You
So somebody was-
to read and write, high school diploma, equivalent, knowledge of state, Tennessee law concerning waste management. Skills and ability to bring diverse opinions to common goals, assist the county in setting directions and accomplishing goals, poses the ability to deal with a variety of contracts and contractors, define expectations for staff and delegate accordingly, work with the respective regional solid waste board and county administrators and coordinators, be sensitive to the expectations of a rural environment, poses a strong background in budget preparation and administration, working knowledge of finance analysis, including managing current and project cash flow needs, knowledge of fund accounting and administration of contracts for compliance with county expectation, knowledge of convenience center and transfer station operations and waste haulers, knowledge of regulations set by EPA and the Tennessee Department of Environmental and Conservation in the Upper Cumberland Development District. That's huge. Poses experience and understanding of administering contracts, some complex nature. Poses experience in working with boards comprised of elected officials. Poses experience in public speaking, must have a valid Tennessee driver license, preferred Class A CDL, abide by all state and federal laws, working knowledge of Tennessee grant management system, that's another huge. We're working on about $1 million right now on that. Obtaining solid waste certification through the University of Tennessee County Technical Assistance Service, UTCTAS, and solid waste certification program, CWCP, online or in person, completion of 8 required courses totaling 12 credits. What's nice about this, if you got a man willing or a lady willing to do this, you, Terry, can give them the time frame just like you done your EMA,
Well,
and they can get that done. I had to go sit and get, you know what I mean, to be able to apply for grants.
that's,
I had to do that.
that's where you get in your pay.
That's right.
They gotta do these requirements
There you go.
before they get their max pay.
What is the pay scale on that?
Yeah, Josh.
I've been with the county 14 years, going on 15, and I'm at 65.
I make a motion that we approve the solid waste director's job description presented by Josh.
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second. Anybody got any other questions? Not all in favor?
And then I guess I'll make a motion to authorize Terry and Josh to start doing interviews for said job.
Yes.
Yeah, we need to put that out for a month, basically 30 days, and then the first of April, sit down with what applicants we got. And we push it hard. Well,
I made my motion to say they can start interviewing on April 1st. That way we don't have to go through another meeting, they can start interviewing.
Yeah, April 1st, April Fools.
April 1st. So, but that way that basically we don't have to go through another meeting, they can just start interviewing people as this comes in.
I'll say, and I want to say this for transparency, and I'm not going to go into detail on this. You talk about 60 days, it seems a little much, to be quite honest. But this next solid waste director might be challenged with hiring 1 or 2 more to serve the side to him. And next year, the 60 days really comes into play.
You're gonna have to work hiring a secretary.
More than likely. I can't say that 100%. I'm just telling you, there's gonna be 3 or 4 openings.
Yeah. There's gonna be some change.
There's gonna be some change.
And we'll test stuff.
And that is a lot. But the thing about, as a solid waste director, they gotta learn all that anyway. When they come in, we gotta train them. My job, I can run the front, I can run the back, I can run the top, the bottom. I got to be able to. Cause I can have 3 or 4 out at any time. I got 3 out this morning, 3 people out this morning. Emergencies occur. You gotta be willing to be able to run.
I mean, a 60-day training, that's huge, much, yeah, I'm all for it. And the truth of it is too, is you're gonna be looking at what you can do in the highway department as well in those 60 days. I mean, or at least I hope you are, because, you know, we've got that same issue at the highway department. Are you taking that position? I hope that you can work with Levy and Levy will work with you
Yeah.
on that transition as well.
I'd say,
And we-
be a lot of people quit. At highway park.
And I think,
Gotta go to work.
I think Levy would be very willing to work with me. Well, I don't believe, I know so. He's gonna be, yeah. I think everything will be just fine.
So I've got a motion in a second that we,
Open interviews up on April the 1st.
well, that will hardly be 30 days. That'd be close. That'd be close enough.
Terry can set
You
that.
need to make that later, you need to make that later than that,
What do you want? What do y'all want?
'cause you don't wanna do interviews the first day.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't tie him down, though. He's a boss man. He wants to hire.
You wouldn't wanna do interviews the first day after it closes,
Leave that up to Terry.
leave it up to Terry.
That's what I would recommend.
Get it done soon.
We're just gonna leave it out there. We're gonna advertise it for 30 days.
I would like,
We can keep you updated on the numbers.
I'm just trying to help. I mean,
don't put no interview
I'm gonna
day.
rely a lot on the job, so I'll just be honest. He knows what the job entails,
yeah,
and he's gonna be able to tell when he talks to some of these people who he thinks can fill his shoes. Cause they got big shoes to fill.
Well, we've created a lot.
You took on a lot of stuff that.
When I come in, they was not.
She's done a fantastic job.
So we've created a lot of work. I'll say somebody will kill himself.
Several departments done that.
We've, also.
We do a lot. I mean,
You
we
built two
do a
new
lot.
convenience centers, which has never been done in my 28 years.
We can write this letter here, Stephen.
There's a lot.
Leave the application period open for 30 days.
okay.
The motion.
Yeah, but don't really have a date that we
Yeah,
start interviewing.
I'm just gonna put, leave the application period open for 30 days.
I mean,
Cause they may not get it online until Wednesday or Thursday.
Yeah, she put it on the morning, or second, but still, we're a couple of days.
I think you got a lot of people silent waiting on to come out. That's what
I hope so.
I would.
but
I hope we have it.
I do
we
too.
don't need to, after it comes up, we don't need to wait till there's 2,500 or 250 people apply for it. We need, you'll be able to look at the man and know whether or not he can do it. I mean, you can look at him when you see him, or I can. Hell, when the guy comes in, I tell you whether or not he's gonna work, whether or not he's gonna pay you. Hell, I've done it for so long.
This is a complex position because you gotta be able to do the financial, the budget, and the computer part of it.
Yeah.
Then you got to turn in and be able to do the mechanical part of it.
But he's gonna have to have him a good secretary.
Build the team. That's what we do.
Your secretary gonna come to the highway department.
She is,
Consider.
she will be considering leaving sanitation. I'll put it that way. I can't speak for what I don't know because they must need field. I don't know. I don't have a clue. I leave the boss man there until August 31st. I will know September 1 what we're looking at.
There's a motion on the floor that we open this for 30 days. And I got a second. Any other questions on that? All in favor? Okay.
Okay,
Next, you need to go over this one.
yes, we'll go over the solid waste report and then we do get a vote on our money. Okay, solid waste director's report. Warren County has paid precinct medals for the 2 building packages on the waste reduction grant. We have received the architectural drawings. And I just started constructing the pad on the large building on the back lot. We put in around 35 to 40 loads of stripping on rough grade. I've got about another 12 loads of strippings to level out. We've rented a dozer for this project. Trying to lay a pad. And why it's taking so much fill, we're putting a full 9-foot dock in this building. So I don't have natural grade. I have about 4 feet of natural grade. So I'm working on another 5 foot of coming up on that. But we are getting close, being ready to try to do a final grade blow top for concrete. Once we get the roughing. The recycling equipment grant, that's your new ton truck and your hoist and your 3 boxes. So we completed the inspection through TDEC on that. They come down, inspected everything. Of course, we passed. And I done all the paperwork through GMS to file for our reimbursement to be sent back to the county, where we can go ahead and completely close that out. And then we will be reporting on that grant for the next 3 years, but we're just wanting to get that enclosed. That way, when another recycling grant comes up this year, Warren County could apply if they wanted to. Right now, we can't because that grant's over. And that grant's from 2024. It took so long to get the hoist mounted on the truck and all that, but we're very close. In the truck, it's phenomenal. It's very versatile. It's got a flatbed roll-off you can put on it, turns into a full flatbed. You can put a dump body on it. You can put a box on it, all rock, dirt. You can pull that off, put aluminum cam load on it, you put a metal load on it. I mean, it's very, very, very nice, full tarper automated system on it. I think the total grant on that was $139,000, and the county taxpayers footed a bill of about $14,000 through that 90%. It's huge. The tire grant, we're looking at that. I've not filed for that. We was really wanting a roll-off truck. Man, we got a lot of arms in the fire, but we are looking at that. The Earlyville Convenience Center, we're awaiting Michael Moore to get out there to survey that, where we can get that purchased. Of course, the church has agreed to sell us that property for $1 for the county paying the survey and closing on that. So that's great of them to do that. We're still working with the railroad. Hopefully we'll get that closed out here in the next couple months. Green Hill, I'm happy to announce that that is fully completed. We own that. Terry closed on that last month. We got them paid. The Green Giants are planted. The Green family's happy, and we're very happy and thankful to own it for liability reasons and for grant funding in the future for that site. We have negotiated to purchase land at Centertown Convenience Center to make that a drive-through. We have a contract in writing on that. We're awaiting the surveyor, but we have started work on that project because we have a contract in writing. Mr. Gary Prager was there. He helped negotiate that. He knowed the gentleman we was buying it from. Gary worked out where we could go ahead and start working and performing work on that to streamline this before I leave. That hopefully will be completed. It's a big project. I mean, we've took out 7 or 8 trees. We got all those cleaned up today. We got them piled to be burnt. We're gonna start the dirt work on that this week. We got probably 30 tracks or loads of haul off out of that site. The way the elevation lays there to get to grade, to be able to base that out for paving. Once we get all that done, we will then be ready to move into the site and start groundwork on pouring new concrete pads, running new underground infrastructure to make that a drive-through. Everything's got to be changed there. The way it's laid, the existing concrete pad blocks the whole center convenience center. So we'll be pulling those out and turning them vertically long ways to make that a drive-through. And in order to do that, we've got to shut that site down. But we are working with the city of Centertown to allow us to use a piece of ground that they own 50 foot up the road from our entrance gate. And I've got with Kevin Mingle, and he's got temporary fencing that we can set up to build a temporary and put a front loader truck up there with a front load cam that's the same height as a compactor to keep the traffic coming and to keep the garbage moving in Centertown, where we don't make them people drive all the way to Morrison or all the way to Riverville or all the way to Texas. So I want to keep the services there. I want to keep the hours there. I don't know if we can justify the full 5 days a week. We'll see. That's a busy side. It's about the 4th business in Warren County. But we're gonna keep the services rolling. We just gotta work out the legal liability to that.
When you, rework that site, are you gonna put in one of the compactors like, we did up at the Smart Station?
I won't have the funding for that unless we move some monies and get approval to do that.
You know, I mean, like that,
It needs to be done.
the Martian in the sense, the one that we got up at Smart Station, I mean, it's not, it takes so much pressure off the fairgrounds.
Yes, it does.
Building a brand new, we're remodeling what we got.
We might can try to,
Look for the money.
I don't say this though now,
We talk.
Fairview needs one bad.
Furniture company.
We've got an open top 30 yard up there. And it's a place. You gotta have a furniture compactor.
How much money are we talking about and how much more downtime are we talking about?
I've got to order a compactor there either way, Gary. Cause the trash compactor there, I put it in 2020 and we're gonna convert it to cardboard. And then we were gonna order one new 4 yard marathon trash MSW compactor.
We're buying a new one. Why aren't we buying one that we can?
The money, I can't, I ain't
How
got
much
money
more
to
how much
budget.
more is it?
Oh my, it's 40, 60, it's another $25,000 with the box.
What kind of lifespan we're going to have?
Well, it's a service you're giving to that community, not bringing them all the way to town.
But I mean, but like, what's
The
the
lifespan.
lifespan of, what's the lifespan of a?
It's the same, the 8 versus the 4. I mean, to be quite honest. It's just gonna pack furniture where the other one won't.
Yeah, so it's like such a bigger hole that you can calculate.
It's a bad boy.
But what about, so there wouldn't be any difference in our downtime,
No, absolutely no, no.
so $25,000
Yeah.
roughly.
It's hard to get compactors at convenience centers that need them when you're working on $100,000 a year in solid waste equipment for the full year. And you got boxes, you got compact, I've got 92, 93 year, I've got 93 models down to 91s at Midway, Rock Island, Viola, Fairview, that I've been rebuilding every year. Just because I got so many parts where I've been putting in new, and I didn't want to buy all new at one time and sell the commission on that.
I mean, it's just my opinion, and I know
I mean,
$25,000
you're up.
is a lot of money,
We need
but at the
to,
same time, when we put this in, how many years, 20, we're gonna be 20 years, out of it? 20, 30 years?
it's a service.
And-
what it is.
And I mean, and I know Fairview
They need one back.
we need these
They do.
compactors at every convenience center.
Yeah.
So that people aren't having to drive to the fair.
It's a youth service. It really
So,
is.
I would like to see us try our best to put this in the center town.
How much taller? Couple inches. It ain't.
It ain't enough. I've had some people that said that's the only thing.
And to be honest with you, when we do that out there,
You can settle that.
I can build the ramps like we done at fairgrounds.
The question that I've had about the furniture.
Every new convenience center going for like Centertown, we'll be doing fresh dirt work. We'll build the ramps on those sides.
I've had some people complain, some of the women,
They're,
they.
because the ocean makes you put.
And they complain a little bit to me about the fact the furniture compactors are higher
And even the new
and
regular,
they have a hard time.
like Midway, Rock Island, all the grandfathered in. Anytime I put a new one in there, you're talking another 8 inches tall, even on a red.
That's the regular.
I mean, that's-
I think that's where you got the problem.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. It's when you
got
got
what we got now.
Yeah.
If it was you,
I put furniture. The furniture's out there.
Yeah, I mean.
It's out.
Then all of a sudden,
They bring it in.
then all of a sudden, we can take furniture, at 4 convenience centers now. That would be,
If you
it'd
get
be
furniture.
fairgrounds. Well,
I take furniture at Fairview, but I'm hauling that thing. Wham, wham. I'm telling you, I had a 2-ton. I'm wearing a truck and
Face full on.
when fairgrounds, I'm hauling 10 ton of furniture.
yeah,
They save so much in transportation and they're gonna pay for themselves.
well, I mean.
That's why I said, I don't have
I'd like
a.
to see us try to figure out how to do that.
Well, we'll try when we get in that project. Bro.
Gary, it's your district, but I mean,
well, I asked him, I said, what would you do if you had a choice right now, what would you do?
I put a furniture company.
I mean,
He's the director. He knows more about it than any of us.
I'd put-
Do we have the money?
We can move it around.
but cut it short anywhere.
You might have to come to budget finance with it.
That's the slave. That's the slave.
But then Gary, I'll say this, we've been working on that landowner for a little bit.
I know
We
that.
couldn't get nothing out of it, and Gary went up there and we bought it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And we
We saved enough money to
Yeah,
buy half
yeah.
of that.
That's right,
Yeah.
you're exactly right.
to build a new center. Oh, man, you saved your.
Yeah, and so, I mean, I just, as we're upgrading each of these sites and only like it would be my goal.
And I
That we
understand
pay for-
Boston didn't get one because 4 miles up the road smart, but Centertown,
Yeah.
it needs one.
So we gotta come to budget finance.
If I move money,
Okay, let's do that. I make the motion that we do that.
Put furniture company.
give me a little time. Well, go ahead, and then we can do it.
I'll
I'm
say,
just not ready next month, because I don't know what all that entails up there.
We'll go ahead and get the furniture company.
And I'd like to see, for the next year's budget,
Fairview.
get Fairview's money landed.
Fairview, I'll be once with Fairview, you'll have to have one in July.
That's what-
Here's the thing about it.
Because
When
I
Josh,
don't know compact.
when Josh come in here, Steve Hillis done a fantastic job. Steve Hillis done with what he had. And it was just a thing. And he done a good job, don't get me wrong. But everything run down, his old trucks were run down. He was afraid to come to the county commission to ask for any money.
Yes, there is. We'll get a better deal by his do, get one time. About you do, you know.
You get a lot of state bid.
Yes.
That's why it's same price.
Let's at least take a look at a second one, and if we can find the money, if we can't, then we'll look at the other one.
We got a new budget coming up. You know, you might can. This is what I'm saying. What my wholesale beer tax money that I've got to work off of, July 1st, 2 boxes, I don't have enough. I don't have enough to buy. So you really gotta, stretch your pennies. It'll clean you out.
so the one at Fairview, you're gonna take
But we
out,
might can move some monies this year that we've not spent. I always turn in $150,000.
well, if you're gonna turn
So I
in
can
money,
always move some monies around.
yeah, if you're gonna turn in that kind of money, I say let's get, cause
But that ain't up to me.
You're pulling the old box out and just slapping it in with the electric and everything, right?
Yeah, and I'll need to know if we're gonna do this before I do my electric upgrade. Cause that machine is what, 3
Now, so
And
at
that's what- that's
Fairview,
what-
at Fairview, you'd have to run more electric and everything as well.
Yes, I'll have to put a converter in it there.
Yeah,
It's single phase.
And put a-
So that's gonna be additional cost then.
Yeah, they're not terrible.
And when I do a converter like that, it slows my timer
I've got paper.
on my machine by about half. And then the people complain on a busy after a holiday, because they're having to sit there and they can't throw it up and it's piling up. You gotta be careful with that. You're almost better to upgrade the service to a 3-phase and cut the converter out. But
But then you got,
to put
you got
3-phase
3
480 in at a side, it cost me about $15,000.
Yeah.
Let me do it myself.
Yeah.
So there goes money. It's all about money.
We can,
People like calling to do it, but.
we can get by with a phase-matic.
Yeah, but it slows our time on a press by about 50%. It's slowed, that thing will just sit there and curry. It works okay, but after holidays, it's slow.
well, I mean,
You
but
might as well,
then again, if they get to throw their furniture away, they might forget.
you might as well put in 3-phase, to be honest. If you work now, Fairview, no, I don't want to rip all that up. But.
That's what that was my question, is
Go
can
ahead
you
and
just slap that in the same spot as that old box at Fairview?
Yes, sir.
And then you had to put a phase converter in.
Yeah. And people has a choice at Fairview, if they don't like the slow time of the machine, they got the lower crash jump factor. See what I'm saying? If it's only MSW, you give them a choice, and when they complain, it's nice to say, hey, This is really for furniture and garbage. If you only have garbage, go to the lower one. You know, your timing is
How many horsepower is that? Very fast.
15 horse on that machine. It would be a 15 horse.
See, I would,
We need to, vote on this. That's what we're gonna
But
do.
you can upsize, Randy, your hydraulics. There's a way to swap them around to dump. It's slow going forward, but as it comes back, you can up your outlet side of your hydraulic to get your speeds coming back. There's a little something you can spend a little money on to do, from my understanding. Every machine I've put in the 550s, they've been fairly new sites or fairgrounds and short pull, and I just put in 3-phase. But I'll bring you under that. I don't have a big machine on a converter. I'll say this, my 10 horse machines that are 3-phase on 1-phase with a converter, they are not gonna get the tonnage a true 3-phase is gonna get. Even when,
We need to put them in right if you put them in.
yeah, if you're gonna get 10 ton on a converter, where you got 3-phase power out of sight, you're gonna get 13 ton. You can get another 2 to 3 ton. It pays off and you're less amperage on your 3-phase versus your single phase. So in the long run, you're better off to go ahead and invest the 15,000 and have the 3-phase be ready to go. But it costs a lot more.
But, well, we've got a motion, don't we?
Yeah, we got
What's,
put a furniture factory instead of.
okay, so our second is.
Yeah.
We can vote on that.
Okay, you know, questions on that? If not, all in favor, say aye.
We'll,
Yeah, I mean, I think
we can do.
The Fairview thing.
Monthly report, we need to vote on that. Any questions, I'll be glad to answer them. This is for February.
We've already
You're
voted-
down on the
we've
time.
voted for everything else you got. We
Get
get
to
to vote on
Friday.
the report.
I'll shut up now. This is your normal standard report.
I make a motion.
Move to approve. Second, I'll second his motion. Got a motion, second. Any questions? Thank y'all. All right. Now, thank you, Josh. At this time, I'd like to, entertain a motion to, shut down the safety part of this, committee and then we're gonna open right back up for a quick, beer. So moved. Second. All right. You got a motion, second, all in favor? Aye. All right, on our beer board. You've got probably.
Letter from
There's a
DA's
letter, yeah.
office.
So he's saying this is,
Somewhere.
we approved a beer permit out at, what do you call that?
Lovely.
But what's that territory out there?
It's Starlight.
Starlight. Out
It's
where
a Bar Chapel, Old Church.
Is old church out there and a young couple went in and remodeled it for a wedding venue. And so they, asked for, got a beer permit in case their customers wanted to serve alcohol at a wedding. All right, this is just a transfer from that business that's still there. This Miss Breedlove must be buying that out. I have a different name to it. And, the background check all come back positive. So the distances were already established a couple of years ago. And I make a motion that we approve this transfer. Second. Got a motion and a second, and you have a question. All in favor? Thank you.
Hey, Ron, I need to say that this section before my reading.
That's all we need.
Yeah, boy, that's it.
Need a motion.
Motion adjourned.
Motion to adjourn.
That's the first one I've ever been a part of to have a bladder from the district.